I knew I was slightly different from the age of 5. I always used to be in the girls' playground playing with the girls because that's where I was happiest. I knew I was different and couldn't reconcile all the two things together, so I ended up going in the Royal Marines thinking that will make a man of me. Right, well, it didn't. You can never get rid of what's in your head, being trans and not being in the right body.
The resilience, okay, that Stephanie has shown is immeasurable. It
was about 5 years before I did my first course when my wife was diagnosed with dementia. I looked after her for 3 years while still working in the building trade, because that's the trade I ended up in actually. With your going in care, I decided to take the opportunity and looking in changing directions in my life.
We interviewed her and she said, I'd really like to do beauty therapy, and we thought she's a great candidate.
The whole thing here is if you've got a passion and a will and a want to learn, then we are really, really happy to have you. So Stephanie sums that all up.
She then enrolled on the level 2 beauty therapy here at Cornwal College.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know, because it was a brilliant course.
Most of us had never been in the company of somebody of the transgender, trans, you know, side of life.
I guess we were all a little bit nervous before we met her.
She's like a rainbow.
Once you'd met her, you were put completely at ease. I mean, she's got a brilliant sense of humour, really good knowledge.
She is like a rainbow because she came in and everybody just loved her.
On the beauty therapy level 2, I got distinctions on most of my levels. I couldn't do the level 3 course that I would have liked to have done.
She made that professional choice to then complete her level 3 Swedish massage, which encompassed her passion for her beauty therapy, but also allowed her that time to pursue where she wanted to go within her life as well.
I ended up going in hospital to have my gender reassignment surgery, which went really well and put me on a different level.
I feel very strongly that we were really very blessed to have Steph join our team. She's allowed us all to embrace and understand a different community.
Steph brought some clients in who were also like her and just made it even better.
And that's how we learnt about all the things that she does to support others within that community.
At the moment, I'm still in the construction industry. I'm looking to try and develop the beauty side.
I actually think the transition for her is parallel, not only with the physical, but also with the studious side. So she's become the person she wants to be.
I think because of all that I've been through with being a dementia friend, looking after my wife for 5 years, and then still trying to dedicate some time to helping the transgender community and trying to complete my studies. So, I mean, they just put me forward and I'm like, well, but that's just me.
We developed an apprenticeship programme, working in partnership with Aintree Hospital. We adapted what the wards needed to fit the learning for the student. When she first came into college, Ellie was a very quiet, shy, retiring girl.
When I first started, I was nervous. I didn't know if it was something I definitely wanted to do, but I thought I'll try because I have family like my nan. She was a nurse and she's told me all stories.
She came from school. Everything was new on the wards for Ellie. Every day was a challenge.
And when you go for your interview, they call you up, ask you about your experience and everything.
That's where they see what ward they're going to end up on.
I said I'd like to see the older people.
So Ellie ended up on Entry to Home. The ward is for people with dementia, lots of different ranges. They're busy wards. You want to do the best that you can, and sometimes that can be difficult, but she overcome and challenged herself.
So I started my apprenticeship. I did that for about a year.
She'd work 30 hours on the wards and 7 hours in the classroom.
On my ward, they're all quite vulnerable. They don't really know what. Most of them are highly confused with dementia. So when you're like helping someone on that ward, it's very like rewarding when they say thank you, or when they're in bed or upset, because a lot of them get upset, you know, because they can't remember and things. It's nice to be able to help someone who's worried.
She just grew. You could just say care, health and social care was her future.
On my ward, I have seen patients who are hard of hearing or deaf.
Talking to my director, there was a shortage we felt of sign language, and we offered that.
When I started learning it at college, I picked up it quite quickly. I feel like it's easier than I thought it'd be. And then when I went into work, I found patients who coming in who was deaf, so like things like saying like how I need the toilet, other people couldn't understand. So I felt like I had helped someone because I understood what they were trying to tell me, like I need to go to the toilet, or I want a cup of tea.
And the hospital have took that on board as well, and they ask for that now for it to happen.
On the ward, a lot of people don't really have families come and visit, and so I think when you have an activity, you see them all like getting excited. Like we have tea parties.
So if you give a patient something to look forward to, they might get washed and ready and changed and just grow a little bit.
I have sort of noticed when I've been back, I've seen people doing the same sort of things as we did when we were there.
Ellie has completed her apprenticeship programme with us now at Hugh, and she's gone over to do her nurse training, the Access to Nursing course.
I've got places for uni starting in September, so I'll go there for 3 years to do my nursing and then I'll qualify.
As a tutor, you're seeing her challenge herself, many obstacles, and then she overcome them and developed her own skills. Naturally took her learning from the classroom onto the wards and just grew and grew.
I do like working with dementia patients, but I go everywhere now with all different types of things. Yeah, I feel like I've made a bit of a difference.
Before I went into care, I was looking after my mum. I was going shopping, cooking. Social services realised she couldn't look after me. So on June the 18th, I remember that day very vividly, I went into foster care for the first time. I was 12 when I went to them. Even though I knew how to do adult stuff, I didn't really learn how to be a child. So I kind of had to be taught how to wash my hair, do my teeth, stuff like that. I think the toughest bit where I was doubting where I was going to go when I was 16, I just finished school, just done my exams, and during that, this is where my mum went into the second coma, and that really affected me because it was the first time I saw her in nearly 3 years, and that kind of emotionally messed me up for a little bit. If you told me when I was 16 I'll be going to uni, I would have told you were a lie.
I first met Adam when he began studying the Level 2 Public Services course, and I was his tutor. And I remember the first time I met Adam because he told me that he was walking, I think it was 3 miles to get a bus to then get to college, and what amazed me was that he was never late.
And I did the BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma of Public Services, which is the course that I'm on now, and it was a challenge at first, not going to lie.
Adam was always very diligent with his work. He always submitted his work on time. If he ever needed help, he would always ask for it, which was really impressive.
I looked after children and care leavers. I think I'm passionate about the issue. I want to make that difference, and I want to make the service better, and the only way the service, in my opinion, is going to get better is to get the opinion of young people. When I was 16, I joined CLIC, which is the Kids in Care Council. We meet weekly at the town hall for 2 hours and discuss certain issues, and also we get invited to do lots of training, etc. We also did a big piece of work called Willow's Story, and we performed it firstly in front of barristers, court people and judges.
Adam's volunteering work has involved in working with local dignitaries in the council, and that's, I think, something that most young teenagers would find very intimidating, but Adam seems to take it in his stride, actually.
Because I've done so much volunteering and stuff, it's kind of led me down to I want to help people similar in my situation, because I know what it's like for them and I feel like I can help them in their lives.
He's realised that his strengths lie in certain areas and he's going to pursue a career in social work. He's already secured a place at university, and I think he'll be an incredible social worker.
It's kind of going around full circle, I guess, from starting as a care kid who didn't have much to being this person who is trying to bring up other people like me into a position where they are stable, happy, and etc. and being an adult and being complete. But I'm just glad to be in the position I am, and I'm thankful for all the people that have helped me, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. So thank you to everyone.